I was watching a thing the other day about how they grow the wafers for semiconductors out of a seed crystal of silicon.
I saw
and
that.
They're always talking about how China has like the 80 or 90% of the world's rare earth minerals, but they don't talk about who's got 100% of the world's top tier silicon, the stuff that's required for everything. It's us. There's a town in North Carolina. It's the only place on the planet where you can find the silicon that has, they call it 11-9 silicon, which means it's 99 point and then 11 nines. That's the purity level of silicon.
Good golly.
Wow.
So
Spruce
everywhere else,
pine?
spruce pine. Everywhere else in the world, there's 2 or 3 other deposits. There's one in Europe, and there's one maybe in Ireland. There's one, and then there's one somewhere else in Europe. But all of those, it's not 11 nines, it's 9 nines, and those extra 2 nines of purity are apparently very important when it comes to making those seed crystals. They grow those columns of silicon in these quartz. They melt it down in these quartz crucibles that are made from the stuff at that Pinewood place or in North Carolina or whatever it's called. I think it's those quartz crucibles or something. I watched a long video about it. It was fascinating because I'm always worried about the Chinese having all the rare earth and minerals. It just doesn't seem like a good idea. That's why I want Greenland.
Let them have that.
Seems like there's always a quick follow-up news story where it's like the U.S. is short on cadmium, and then 2 weeks later it's like new cadmium mine, largest on Earth, found in Salt Lake City, and it's like, we win again. We're just on such a roll.
Did you see the BioLab they found in Las Vegas?
What are they doing there?
Which one?
They're rating.
No, I didn't.
They're rating the Chinese-owned BioLab they found in Las Vegas, where they were testing resistant forms of malaria, HIV, and COVID viruses. They are confiscating all of the materials. There was like tons of mice they were testing their bio stuff on. I didn't want to say bioweapons, but it really seems like the Chinese were cooking bioweapons outside Las Vegas in a secret lab, which has now been raided.
If you can get away with it.
They had it was weird. They had a room where there was just a bunch of pangolins shitting on pigs all day.
This isn't anything to do with
just to see what happened.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I hope it worked. No,
so a couple people need to get fired. We got to fire a couple people. Whoever was in charge of making sure bioweapons bases don't pop up in Las Vegas. That guy really screwed the pooch. He's got to be fired.
Yeah. It doesn't look good. Super troubling. I guess I'm glad they did find it, but now it makes me wonder, like, is there going to be any? I want to know more.
There's another one that happened in California, I believe. It was it was a location. It was owned by a Canadian national, and he's still in Canada. He's wanted, but there was they had biological samples of, it said Ebola and stuff like that on it, like that level of fear mongering. And the way that they stumbled across it is there was just a hose sticking out of the wall that wasn't up to code. And that's how they got the sort of a tip to knock on the door and try to push themselves in. And they immediately were like, oh my God, this is a illegal biolab, an illegal Chinese biolab. Let me see where that one's at, because I forget.
Damn.
Yeah, that was.
We can't be doing this multiple times.
I heard about that one in reference to this one. So this one is owned by an LLC tied to the Holmes. Let's see. It's part of an ongoing federal case in California involving a biological laboratory there. 8 News Now investigators, a Chinese citizen with potential ties to the Chinese Communist Party, David Hay, faces federal charges for allegedly manufacturing and distributing, they're saying, misbranded medical devices at a warehouse. Oh, this is the one in California. Oh, shit.
So it seems like there has to be more than just these two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just the one in California. And then
I've been reading about it since you brought it up, and it's just what you said, the HIV, some malaria, a couple things. And it seems like the California one and is it Fresno? Where was the other one? Mm-hmm. Vegas are very similar in like what they found there.
And they're also both linked to the Chinese.
That's pathetic. How is our defense that bad?
Well, I mean, we caught it. What do you mean? We got them.
Honestly, I disagree. Like, I think It's incredibly easy to just do something low key inside a home. To catch it at all is almost impressive. So I don't know about California, but in the new one, there was a whistleblower, someone who tipped off the police. I don't know how they caught the California one.
This one, it says several fall deadly ill from Las Vegas BioLab, tip leads FBI police to garage that smelled like a hospital.
Interesting. So it smelled clean?
Did it smell sad?
I mean, that's what I imagine hospitals smelling like bleach.
They're just overly clean.
Yeah.
And chemicals and sadness.
That
illegal Reedley BioLab.
We got to shut them down. There's no way they're being friendly here. If we have if you have a lab in China, like outside of Beijing, there's no way we're like looking for cures for air sickness and things. Like we're going balls to the wall, hard in the paint, looking up stuff that like we don't want to discover in Ohio.
Yeah,
it looks like they hired a cleaning crew, and the member of the cleaning crew tipped off the police.
Ooh, a little whistleblower action.
Wow, they were too cheap.
Yeah,
whistleblower
implies they were on the inside. I pictured them more like maids, but I could be wrong.
That's fucking scary.
I like to picture the Chinese guys come into the door with like a cowboy hat, being like, "Howdy." Like, we know.
It seems easy to pull off. It's just not that hard to do something inside your own house on the down low.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Yeah. As long as you're not they look for things like drawing too much electricity. When you're
heat signatures
and stuff and heat signatures and stuff. There's
that lights are LED. It's not as easy to do that.
Well, not grow lights.
Yeah, they are.
There are grow lights that don't give off heat?
They're LED, so they don't give off the same heat or take the same electricity. This is an area of expertise for me. They share a lot with reef tanks.
I thought that it had to be UV light for the plants, and UV light would cause...
UV light, LEDs do UV light. UV light is also critical for corals.
Is that what we're working about? Like weed production? Like I would think.
No, I was just saying, like, I understand how that's caught, but like if you're culturing malaria in your garage, who's gonna know? Like,
it does sound
everybody who buys a petri dish.
Extremely fun. My wife contracted malaria.
Oh,
really?
You got a
She's
sample.
A survivor?
I got a malaria wife. Yep. She went to Africa, got malaria.
Damn.
Yep.
She didn't get her malaria shot? I thought they loaded you up with something before you went.
I can't. I don't know. I'd have to ask her. She just told me that. And she's got. She went on, I think, a mission or something. I don't know. I didn't ask enough questions about it. Now that all I could think of was Far Cry 2. I was like, this is like Far Cry 2. What you just explained to me. Like, do you have waking nightmares and blood diamonds?
Is malaria still killing tons of people in Africa, or do we have like enough shots over there that it's kind of shut that down? Or I would guess there'd be a lot of rural Africans getting bit by mosquitoes that don't have access to it, probably. And there's so many Africans now, the actual number is probably going up.
It killed 600,000 people last year.
95% of all the world's malaria cases and deaths are in Africa.
Apparently, there were 282 million malaria cases last year, and 600,000 died.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But I also thought it was deadlier than that. I guess maybe if you get it in time.
We got treatments and stuff for it now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad we don't have that here.
Malaria?
No malaria. Or at least, if someone sneaks in with malaria, we go, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think it needs like a hot tropical climate for some reason.
Do we have West Nile virus? What is that?
That's cropped up here before, because I remember...
It was like a decade ago.
Yeah, I remember there were a few of those like weird viruses, but it seemed like if like one or two cases popped up, everybody threw up a net and got them.
There's something, there's something that happened to horses a few years ago. That horses were getting from mosquitoes, and people were at least in the horse community, the horsey community.
Yeah.